Hello friends, welcome to Inside Psych Initiative, and again we are back with Prelims High Yield Series. In this series we are going to discuss about SNT topics today. Of course, so far we discussed about range of topics such as polity, and we discussed about environment and IR as well. Now it is the turn of SNT. In this today's video we are going to cover about following 10 topics. Okay, of course SNT, like this kind of videos, it is going to be like at least couple of videos going to be there in the SNT. Now for the first one we are going to discuss about Shukrayaan, and one more thing you have to remember, all these topics are they are repeated, they are news in the first 3 to 4 months of this calendar year 2023. Okay, I hope these topics will be useful to you in upcoming prelims. First topic is Shukrayaan. Shukrayaan is about India's Venus mission. In this mission they are going to observe the surface of the Venus. Okay, now actually they projected initially 1 year regarding the launch. Now they postponed that to another year. We are going to discuss about when was the initial year of launch and when it is going to be actually launched. Apart from that, what this mission is actually going to offer, that we will discuss. Okay, and what is the significance of studying the Venus? You know that Venus is also known as Earth's twin. It looked like similar to Earth, as well as its atmospheric conditions, and more or less resembles to Earth. India's Space Research Organization, ISRO, their Venus mission, also known as Shukrayaan 1, it may be postponed to 2031. Initially it was projected to launch in 2024 December. The Shukrayaan mission, it will be an orbiter mission. That means it is not going to land on the Venus, it will orbit around the Venus. So it will try to understand the atmosphere present on the surface of the Venus. Its scientific payloads are currently including high resolution synthetic apparatus radar and ground penetrating radar. These are the two payloads it is carrying, and this SAR would examine Venus surface despite the clouds surrounding the planet. That means, of course, when the clouds are surrounding, obviously the visibility is very difficult. So in spite of that, it will try to observe the surface. It is expected to study the Venus geological as well as volcanic activity and emissions from that volcanic activities, wind speed, cloud cover, and all these are things going to be observed. And this Shukrayaan 1, it is going to be launched either by GSLV Mark II or GSLV Mark III. Of course, GSLV Mark III is more advanced compared to GSLV Mark II. The significance, it will help to learn about how the Earth-like planet it evolved and what kind of conditions are present on the Earth side exoplanet. Here, exoplanet means planets which are present outside of our galaxy, solar system, outside of our solar system. Whatever the planets we call them as exoplanet. So we can understand how the atmosphere present in this kind of exoplanets as well, and it helps in modeling the Earth climate, and it also gives a caution about how dramatically a climate can change. Okay, so this is about topic number 1. Second topic, Aditya L1 mission. This is the mission, actually we launched this one, and more or less this Aditya L1, it is about to launch to the L1 point. Here Aditya mission, it related to observing of sun. Okay, and L1 stands for the Lagrange point. Lagrange points are the points where the gravitational pull of the both Earth as well as the sun, these gravitational forces are equal, so that the object, whatever the object placed here, okay, it will stay there by using the minimum amount of the fuel. So far there are 5 Lagrange points are there. Okay, now let's see Aditya L1. It is India's first space mission to study the sun. It was successfully launched from the ISRO Sriharikota. Mission Aditya L1 objective to study the gas pattern, coronal heating, and solar wind acceleration. Okay, and to study about even the sunspot and various other aspects related to sun. Launched by ISRO, obviously, launch vehicle PSLV XL, type of mission solar mission. When it was launched 2nd September 2023, and it costs 400 crores. Landing site Lagrange points. Okay, and these are the various parts associated with the sun. The outer layer of the sun, convective zone, and the inner part is core, and beyond the outer part we have a corona, sun's outer atmosphere. Sometimes from sun we can also observe coronal mass ejection, CME. Apart from that, solar flares and sunspots. Sunspots, they are present in the chromosphere. That also we have to know that. Below the chromosphere, photosphere is there. It is the visible surface of the sun. These are the various layers associated with sun. And solar influence in the earth. So first is sun acts as a principal energy source, especially to the process such as photosynthesis. And the second one is space weather. Because of these solar flares as well as the coronal mass ejections, because of this obviously the space weather gets affected. It may also affect the performance of the satellites as well. Okay, these are the Lagrange points. Lagrange points already mentioned, where the energies of the two objects will be nullified. The L1 point, okay, already it is a home to Solar and Heliospheric Observatory Satellite, SOHO. It is already there, and this is the international collaborative project of NASA as well as the European Space Agency. Okay. The third one is, it is regarding one of the telescope. It is the James Webb Telescope. Recently, James Webb Telescope, it sent certain pictures which captured by it, okay, the pictures of deep space. National Aeronautics and Space Administration such as NASA, they released images captured by this James Webb Telescope from the sky. This James Webb Telescope, it is an international collaboration between the NASA, ESA and the Canadian Space Agency, which was launched in 2021. You know students, before this James Webb Telescope, Hubble Telescope used to cater majority of the services related to Space Telescope. But as the Hubble Telescope, as its service been expired, now we launched this James Webb Telescope. You know, the James Webb Telescope, one side of it is coated with the gold as well, so that whatever the light it receives, it when it is capturing that light, through primary mirror it will receive the light, through secondary mirror it reflects the light. To minimize the loss of light, that was coated with the gold. So it was a gold coated, it is going to have a, it was having this gold coated umbrella as well. Next, now it is currently present in the L2 Lagrange point, around 1.5 million kilometer away from the Earth's orbit around the sun. Just now I mentioned there are how many Lagrange points are there? 5 Lagrange points are there, and it is the one of the largest and most powerful infrared space telescope, and it succeeded the Hubble telescope. Next one, India's first hybrid rocket successfully launched in Chengalpattu. Okay, so first you have to understand rockets. Rockets run by fuel. There are different types of fuels such as solid fuel, liquid fuel and cryogenic fuel. Here hybrid rocket means they run with the help of both solid as well as the liquid fuel. In many aspects, these kind of hybrid rockets are very beneficial compared to the only solid fuel or only liquid fuel type of rockets. Let's see, India's first hybrid sounding rocket tested by private players, and this was launched by some students from Pattipulam village of Tamil Nadu coast. The hybrid rocket means it is a type of rocket engine that contains features of both liquid fueled as well as the solid fuel rockets. Do you know students, if you watch the Rocketeer movie, you might have known that Nambi Narayan, in the Rocketeer movie, Nambi Narayan was working on what type of fuel, solid fuel or liquid fuel? Put your answer in the comment section. In a hybrid rocket, solid fuel burn in combination with the liquids or gaseous oxidizer to produce the enough thrust so that a rocket can start its journey. Benefits offered over conventional rockets. Hybrid rockets are generally, they are simple and less expensive to manufacture than the only liquid ones or the only like solid ones, and they are safer than both liquid as well as solid rockets individually. Compared to them, it is very safer bet, you can call it as. Next one, it is regarding the NISAR. NISAR is a project between both ISRO as well as the NASA. This main objective of this project is about the mapping of Earth. You know, the capacity of this project is, it can map the entire Earth within 12 days. That is the capacity of this project. Okay, it is not yet launched. It is about to, it is going to be launched in the next few weeks. Now let's see. Recently, NISAR, NASA and ISRO synthetic aperture radar, it has been started its journey from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California. Okay, from there it will go to the launching pad. From launching pad it will be launched. NISAR will be the first radar of its kind in space. So, it will systematically map Earth using two different radar frequencies. Here these are the frequencies very important in examination point of view, L band as well as a S band. So, they measure changes in our planet surface less than a centimeter, okay, that close they can capture the information. NISAR actually been built by space agencies of both USA as well as India under an agreement which was made in 2014. It will be going to be launched in January 2024 from Satish Dhawan Space Center into near polar orbit. That means it is going to be launched from India. So, it started its journey from America. This will operate for a minimum of 3 years lifespan. It is a low Earth orbit observatory. Of course, based on the heights, you can have low Earth orbit and geostationary orbit. There are different types of orbits. NISAR will map the entire globe within 12 days. Expected benefits of NISAR, of course, in earth science, disaster management, agriculture, infrastructure monitoring and climate change. In all these areas, NISAR services can be used. Next, this one is going to be the LIGO, okay, Laser Interferometry Gravitational Observatory. Okay. So, here LIGO, they are going to observe the gravitational waves, and all these gravitational wave observatories, they are functioning under the broad name of LIGO, under the broad collaboration of LIGO, Laser Interferometry Gravitational Observatory, LIGO. Recently, Government of India approved our first LIGO lab, LIGO project after 7 years of in principle approval. Okay. So, what is this observatory is going to do? It is going to capture the gravitational wave. Okay. Actually, gravitational waves are very weak because they travel from very long distance. Even they travel from a distance of at a time when black holes were formed. Okay. At that time, these waves might have been formed, and some waves are resulted due to the expire of stars. Okay. So, when these lights are emitted, as they are traveling very long distance, their signals are becoming very weak. To capture such kind of weak signals, we require this kind of LIGO observatories, and this one is going to be built by Department of Atomic Energy and the Department of Science and Technology with the help of US National Science Foundation and several other international as well as national research institutions. LIGO-India project. Main objective is detection of gravitational waves from the universe. The India LIGO would be two perpendicularly placed around 4 kilometers each one. This perpendicularly placed one. Two perpendicularly placed 4 kilometer vacuum chambers that constitute most sensitive interferometer in the world. Okay. This interferometer will respond if they get any sign of the gravitational wave. It is expected to finish by 2030. It is going to be located in Hingoli district of Maharashtra near to Mumbai. Benefits of LIGO-India. So, the LIGO-India, it will provide several benefits to Indian science apart from making India an integral part of the international scientific experiment related to gravitational wave. What are those several benefits? With this help of these gravitational waves, even we can understand from how long they started. Okay, that also we can understand. That means the time travel, how long they were traveled before they been observed by us. So, this kind of interesting things we can get to know. Gravitational waves, these are for the first time, these are been mentioned by Albert Einstein in his general theory of relativity, which explain how gravity works. These gravitational waves are produced by movement of massive celestial bodies such as black holes, neutron stars and other ripples which are produced in the space. They produce the gravitational waves, and LIGO is the international network of laboratories to study the gravitational waves, and they are designed to measure changes in distance, okay, such as how as the gravitational waves is changing the distance, that means as it is traveling longer and longer, the signal will be becoming lower and lower. So, that is the main reason detecting gravitational waves are very difficult. Next, this one is regarding the Gagayaan. Recently we tested the Gagayaan flight. Of course, Gagayaan is the human space flight. So, before we are sending the human, obviously we have to send first we have to test the flight first. Okay. So, whether it is withstanding that physical conditions or not, okay, especially the space launch and everything, we have to test first. We will test this launching vehicle. Of course, we done that one. India's first rocket, part of its human space mission Gagayaan test vehicle D1, it was been tested successfully. It's all about performance of the crew escape system. Okay, we tested the crew escape system. Crew escape system is a facility where in case the mission is aborted, by using the crew escape system, crew will able to come out of that rocket and they can safely land on the surface of the ocean. So, that crew escape system was successfully tested, and this flight will be the first of 2 abort mission. Of course, one more abort mission will be tested as well. Gagayaan mission is a space mission to demonstrate ISRO's human space flight capability. It will launch humans into space in an orbit of 400 kilometers, okay, and bringing them back safely to the surface of the earth. Its cost is around 23 crores. Launching vehicle GSLV Mark 3, also known as LVM 3. Okay, launch vehicle Mark 3. Actually, this LVM Mark 3, it's been modified according to the human's need. Previously, it used to launch only for the satellite. So, after modifying, we are calling that as a human rated LVM 3. Okay, it is modified according to our needs. What are the main objective of this mission? Human space capability and scientific career. It will prove our capability of launching humans into the space. And what are the various modules here in this project? Main module is orbital module. This orbital module is it revolves around the earth. This orbital module. This orbital module further consists of service module as well as the crew module. Crew module is the one which consists of crew. Okay, that means whoever the astronauts we are going to send, they are going to be present in that crew. Whereas service module, it provides various services which are necessary for the crew system. Okay, and significance of this mission. The mission significance is India's aim of the self-reliance. It will project the India's self-reliance, enhance the R&D and robotic program, focus on regional needs, and strengthening the international partnership. So, these are some of the significances of this mission. Challenges of this Gagayaan: human survival technologies. Okay, how that human will survive, and we have to prove that technology that we have that capability of demonstrating the technology. Human safety we have to demonstrate, and cost effectiveness, it has to be cost effectiveness as well. So, these are some of the challenges our human space flight program is facing. Next one is regarding the reusable launch vehicle technology. Friends, normally when we launch any satellite with the help of rocket, that rocket is only that one time only. Okay, once the rockets fall into the ocean, it cannot be retrieved back and it cannot be reused again. But recently we tested the reusable satellite launching vehicle. Now let us see information related to that. Recently ISRO and ISRO partners, okay, they successfully demonstrated the precise landing of reusable launch vehicle RLV at Chitradurga, Karnataka. According to ISRO, the series of experiments of this reusable launching vehicle, if they are successful, then in future we can develop the fully reusable launch vehicle, so that our launching cost can also reduce a lot, because every time manufacturing a rocket only for one time use, it is an expensive matter as well. So, in future this vehicle will scale up to become the first stage of the India's reusable 2-stage orbital launch vehicle. Okay. So, once if this development vehicle is tested properly, if it is successful, then finally it is going to be the India's 2-stage orbital launch vehicle, reusable 2-stage orbital launch vehicle. This is the final product we would like to make. Significance: the cost is one of the major deterrent in the space launch. So, because of the reusable vehicles, obviously the space launch will come down, there is no doubt in that. Okay, nearly 80% of the space launch will come down. Next, small satellite launching vehicle. Students, when we are launching very small satellites, what is happening? Even for the small satellites also we are using very big rockets. Because of that, the overall expenditure of that launch is increasing. So, for sending the small satellites, we may require the small satellite launching vehicles. So, for the first time, India successfully tested the small satellite launching vehicle. So, the small satellite launching vehicle, it can be assembled very quickly within a very few days with a very short team, okay, and these kind of vehicles can be perfectly useful, especially when foreign countries are requesting us to deliver their micro satellites and mini satellites. Okay. India's second attempt, in its second attempt, India ISRO successfully tested the small vehicle, small satellite launch vehicle. It launched from Satish Dhawan Space Station, Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. The vehicle first development flight, it was not succeeded well, and it is the second developmental vehicle it got succeeded. It is a 3-stage launch vehicle which consists of solid propulsion stages, all the 3, and the liquid propulsion based velocity trimming module as a terminal. Of course, you do not need to remember these details, but anyhow, the SSLV, it can be assembled very quickly, okay, within few days, whereas the conventional PSLV, it takes around the 6 months for the assembling of that particular launching vehicle. Objective, main objective is to send small satellites, especially small communication satellites, to put them into the space. Significance, low cost access to space and low turnaround time. Okay, you can quickly launch micro satellites because the assembling of the small satellite launching vehicle is very easy. Now, the 10th one, this is regarding the Jupiter. You know friends, around the Jupiter there are different moons are revolving around the Jupiter. And now, we are going to discuss about JUICE mission. It is from the European Space Agency, and this mission is going to explore the moons of the Jupiter. Okay, moon is the natural satellite. Moon is the natural satellite around the planet, that is known as moon. Okay, so which moons of the Jupiter this mission is going to explore? Moons of Ganymede, Callisto, and Europa. These moons are going to be explored by this JUICE mission. So, it will create a detailed map of this moon surface, and it will check the water availability, and so that whether these moons are whether they are potentially habitable or not, that kind of information will be checked by this JUICE mission. The focus will be Ganymede. Ganymede is one of the largest moon in the entire solar system. Okay, it is not going to check whether there is a life is present on these moons or not. It will check whether the water availability is there or not, or whether they are habitable or not. That information can be derived from this. Jupiter is one of the largest planet in the solar system and 5th in line from the sun, almost twice as compared to other planets. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, these are known as Jovian or gaseous planet because they are covered with thick layer of gases. Jupiter has more than 75 moons. Out of that, the interested one are only 3 with respect to this JUICE mission. Now, yesterday's video questions. Which of the following are west flowing rivers of India? West flowing rivers. Which one? So, majority of this year, okay, the only third one, Narmada is only the west flowing river. Rest of all the rivers flows through east direction. Next. The Mangalyaan launched by ISRO. So, read these 3 statements regarding the Mangalyaan and pick the right answer. Next. The experiment will employ a trio of spacecraft flying in formation in the shape of an equilateral triangle that has sides 1 million km long with laser shining between the craft. The experiment in question refers to which experiment? This is a description related to. Next. Recently, scientists observed the merger of joint black holes billions of light years away from the Earth. What is the significance of this observation? Okay, what is the importance of this observation? As we reach to the end of this video, we will just quickly revise what we discussed. In this video, we discussed about following 10 topics as a part of the Prelims High Yielding Series SNT Part 1. I hope this added some quality into your preparation, and this is the detailed analysis related to all these 10 topics, and thanks for watching.